All right, we are live right now. I'm Hunter King with 13 WMAZ News. We're standing just outside of Central Georgia Technical College. Behind me, this is the Macon campus, just off of Eisenhower out here, just south of town. And here's the situation. Here's what we know at this time. We first started hearing some murmurs about a situation going on here at the campus. Heavy police response, as you can see here on your screen, dozens of police cars. And about 15 minutes ago, we got a update from Central Georgia Technical College on their social media platforms. They said CGTC police are responding to calls about an active shooter on the college's Macon campus this afternoon, August 26th. Alongside local law enforcement, they are assessing the situation, and if you are on the Macon campus, please shelter in place at this time. We will update you on this matter as we know more. Video journalist Colin Hammock here with me right now is showing you some of the just the sheer police presence here on scene. You can see anything from Bibb County Sheriff to Georgia State Patrol. And when we first arrived on scene, they were speeding up to the campus almost as if there was a situation going on. Now you can see their tone is much more relaxed. Lots of people standing out here and talking. We have seen them go in and out of this what looks to be the administration building up here in the front of the campus. But now we are, this is actually just new right here. We're seeing these Georgia State Patrol troopers here take off their vests, and hopefully that's a good sign. Now, it is important to note we have talked to some of the Bibb County Sheriff's deputies here on scene, and they have told us right now that they do not believe anybody has shot a weapon at all. So they're not sure if this is even a real shooting scenario. Of course, they are taking the utmost precaution. They want to make sure that is not the case here. It is good. We are seeing a lot of troopers and deputies come out now and put their gear away, it looks like. But of course, this happened about an hour ago now, is when we first got the police response here, right around 1:15 Eastern time. That's when police started rushing to the scene. We're on Macon Tech and basically Eisenhower Parkway right now, right across from the Lowe's here. But again, no reports yet of shots fired here on the campus. But it is important to note that they were called here for an active shooter. It also is worth noting that around the country this week, in the past couple of days, we have heard instances of active shooters around campuses. This is not just here in Georgia, but all throughout the United States. We've heard reports about active shooters on campuses, high school campuses as well. We just had that scare a couple of weeks ago down at Perry High School. Obviously, this is at the forefront of everybody's mind. It is a scary situation, and law enforcement here taking this very seriously. In the event, unfortunately, we've seen in too many cases around the United States, in the event of an active shooter like this, their number one priority is to rush to the scene and neutralize that threat. Again, that doesn't seem to be the case as of right now. We're working to get more information from our law enforcement departments around the city of Macon. I'm gonna see if we can get a shot here. Colin Hammock, our video journalist here, you can see some healthcare EMS workers. They're staged here in this area, and this is the Melton Palmer Jr. building right here. It is just to the east, I believe, of the campus. It is part of the campus, though, and right here you can see the ambulances from Atrium Health Navicent. I was told when they pulled up that they're here to stage. They are not here to treat any patients that we know of right now. Again, of course, there is no confirmation of a shooter right now. What we do know is that they were getting reports of it, and right now they're working to clear the buildings. One of the deputies, when I pulled up, we actually were able to get pretty close to the building, surprisingly, and they obviously, we were one of the first people on scene along with some of these deputies, but there were folks just walking very close to the scene, and so they have obviously, you know, they put up this crime scene tape now. This is very close off now, to say the least, and we are seeing these law enforcement officials. They are trying to do anything that they can right now to figure out what exactly is going on. I'm getting reports now that a student called us, and I apologize for looking at my phone here. A student called us and said they're sheltering in place at the building next to the A building. So I'm trying to get my bearings here. I believe the A building is, yes, the A building is right over here. You can see that sign of the A building. So we are getting reports trickling into our newsroom of students here on the campus who are sheltering in place. Obviously a very scary situation, and we hope that everybody is okay right now, but we are seeing law enforcement kind of trickle out of the buildings. When we first arrived, law enforcement did tell me that they are going through and clearing the buildings. That's typically protocol in situations like this. If there is, God forbid, a gunman inside of one of these buildings, their number one goal is to neutralize that suspect, but then they have to go through and clear the entire campus. And right now, I believe that's what phase we are in right now. They haven't reported any shots fired, nobody on campus yet that we know of, you know, with a gun, nobody shot. So that is the good news at this moment. But what we do know right now is that they are still clearing the buildings. And like we heard from our newsroom, back in the newsroom, we're hearing of some folks calling into our station, telling us that they are sheltering in place here at the Central Georgia Technical College campus. We have a crowd that's gathering here. I figured we would go ahead and show them. But we do have a crowd out here that's kind of gathering. A lot of people just curious, you know, wanting to know what's going on here. Some of them work in the area. I did talk to a parent earlier who has and hold on, Colin, let's get this on camera. So this is a new development. We're seeing Bibb County Sheriff's deputies take down the crime scene tape. That is certainly, we hope, a good signal here that this is good. And now we're seeing the Atrium Health Navicent ambulances that we're staging here leaving. So I believe that this situation may be wrapping up right now. Of course, we're going to work to get details here. And as a matter of fact, we'll just keep a static shot up here, but I'm going to go run and get details really quick and see if I can figure out if there's any new developments with these ambulances leaving and whatnot. Certainly, we hope a good sign here, but I'm going to run really quick and see if I can get some info, and I'll be right back. right, we are back here. Hunter King with 13 WMAZ News. If you're just now joining us, here's what we know. At around 1 o'clock this afternoon, many law enforcement agencies, including the Bibb County Sheriff's Office and Georgia State Patrol, rushed here to Central Georgia Technical College to reports of an active shooter. It now seems like the situation is dying down, which is good news. That is good news. We just saw ambulances from Atrium leave here just a moment ago, and we saw them take the crime scene tape down. We don't have any new details at the moment, but I can tell you the public information officer from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office is going to come over here in just a moment, so we'll take that live in just a second. But I'm going to step out of the way one more time, and if you've been watching the stream for the past 10 minutes or so, you've kind of seen law enforcement trickle out here. Video journalist Colin Hammock here doing a great job of showing the situation. You can see right there on your screen those sheriff deputies convening, likely debriefing the situation. Smiles on their face right now. This is hopefully good news here. And in just a moment, like I said, we are expecting some sort of update here from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. And we hope to get that here within the next few minutes. Of course, we want to get the latest info out, but we want to make sure it comes straight from the source. Of course, Bibb County Sheriff's officers, we believe, were the first on scene here. A little bit of a side note, I was working on a different story today, just down the road from here, and that is actually one of the first signals that we knew something was going on here, because about 6 or 7 Bibb County Sheriff's deputies, cruisers, just zoomed past the other story that I was on, and we followed them here to this scene. That was about an hour ago, and of course now we are seeing these same deputies that were rushing here start to slowly pack their vehicles with their gear. We are certainly hoping that is a good sign. Of course, when we got here, again, if you're just now joining us, there were reports of an active shooter, but there was no confirmation that anybody was actually shooting or shot, and we're just hoping and praying that that news remains the same here. I can see the Bibb County Sheriff PIO right now. He looks to be unpacking his stuff. We're hoping that he walks over here in just a moment, and we'll get you the latest update right here. We want to thank our viewers for joining us. Of course, if you know anybody inside, we would love for you to share your story with us, and we of course want to hear from folks out there of any details that they might know, of course, while we wait for the Bibb County Sheriff's Office here at Central Georgia Technical College in Macon. If you're unfamiliar with the area, we are right off of Eisenhower and Macon Tech Drive. Currently, me and my video journalist, Colin Hammock, are standing at the J building, probably better known as Melton Palmer Jr. building. This is on the, what is the east side of the campus, and our camera right now is shooting in towards the main campus building. I believe that's the administration building there, building A. And a moment ago we had an update from our from one of our viewers that a student called us and said that they're sheltering in place next to the A building. It's unclear right now if they have an update for us on that, but of course in situations like this, when they don't know what's going on, you want to maintain order, and it seems like they handled that situation relatively fast. We are seeing some of those Macon Bibb Sheriff's cruisers leave the area now. I think the best news out of all of this is we saw those ambulances that were staged here. There's at least 4 of them that were staged out here, pulled off just a few minutes ago. Nobody was in them. That is the good news. That would likely indicate that there are no injuries here. Of course, anytime this happens, anytime there's a call like this, you know, it makes your stomach drop a little bit, and you can see just how concerned everybody was. I can tell you, when deputies first arrived, I won't forget it. They literally rushed here, popped open the trunk, and grabbed long guns. I mean, it was that type of situation, and they were prepared. They were prepared to go in and deal with whatever situation was there. This was a very, very active scene when we first arrived. Now, not so much, and that is probably very good news. If you're just joining us, we are trying to gather more info from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. Georgia State Patrol is out here as well. Georgia Department of Public Safety is out here, and we will continue to follow the developments as they unfold. Right now, there is still, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's 20 plus deputies and troopers vehicles out here. So there's still a heavy police presence, and they got the road shut down. So there's no way you're getting in here if you you know, if you have family members here. You know, we urge you to call them and check on them first of all, but we are going to figure out here in just a moment if we can get an update from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. And so we are going to get that in just a moment. Being informed here live on the air right now that this Bibb County Sheriff's Office is going to gather here with media in just a moment. Sergeant Williams, I believe, is the usual person who will brief us in these situations, and I believe we are getting prepared for that. But like I was saying, this situation is still active. If you do have loved ones here, you are likely not going to be able to get on campus at the moment. It does seem like the situation has now kind of de-escalated. We are seeing some units leave. We saw ambulances leave the scene, and that is the good news. But it doesn't look like we're 100% out of the clear here at Central Georgia Technical College. When we first pulled up, we saw at least 2 GSP officers get out. They grabbed a bulletproof vest. It looked like they had a vest on underneath their uniform, but they put on almost like a ballistics type vest and a ballistic type helmet, almost what you would see like a military soldier wear. And then they grabbed a long gun as well, what I presume was some sort of semi-automatic weapon. And we are continuing to follow the situation as it unfolds here. And I'm going to see if I can get some more info. I'm going to go ahead and step off one more time, and if you'll give me 1 second, we'll see if we can get the latest details. All right. Sorry. We are back live here at Central Georgia Technical College. Obviously, the scene is dying down right now. Now, I want to give you an update here. We're going to bring in some spokespeople from the Central Georgia Technical College right now. I'm going to step out of the way. Our video journalist Colin here is going to readjust, and I'll have you take 1 or 2 steps closer. And so, first of all, Joben Rivera, will you say and spell your first and last name for us?
Absolutely. It's Joben Rivera Thompson, Joben, last name Rivera, Rivera-Thompson.
And will you give us your title as well?
Yes, sir. I'm the Director of Marketing and Public Relations and International Outreach here at Central Georgia Technical College.
Jobin, first of all, can you update us right now on what's going on?
I can absolutely. To let the community know, we have been given an all-clear status by law enforcement in Macon, Bibb County, and Central Georgia Technical College Police. So we do have an all-clear. The Sheriff's Department received a 911 call this afternoon of an active shooter threat on campus. And so CGTC responded immediately while Macon Bibb Sheriff's Department, Georgia State Patrol, and other first responders arrived shortly thereafter. CGTC sent an emergency alert to our Macon campus group at 1:37 p.m., alerting the campus of the details of law enforcement's response to that active shooter call. And we believe right now, according to what our folks in law enforcement have told us, that this was a hoax. But regardless, our law enforcement, the community should be proud to know that our law enforcement responded quickly and promptly to what was reported on campus. And as a college and as a community, we'd like to thank our law enforcement, our police officers here at Central Georgia Technical College for responding quickly. And we're very grateful for their response to make sure that our students and our community is safe. As I mentioned, at this time, the lockdown is lifted. We have an all clear from our law enforcement, and we're thankful for the community for giving us our support, giving our law enforcement support so that they can respond in this manner to something that is very serious and we hope doesn't happen in the future, but we know that we have good law enforcement. We should be proud of their efforts today.
Can you kind of walk me through what the situation, what campus looks like today? How many students were here? Do you have a rough estimate?
I don't have a rough estimate on that. Our student body has just recently come back to classes, started this semester last week. But I don't have a rough estimate on how many students or faculty were here, but we do know that they're safe, that they're in good hands. Our law enforcement has responded swiftly to this call and has made sure that they're going to continue to be safe for the rest of their time here.
Do we believe that the call originated from the campus? I know now.
I have no comment or answer to that right now. I'm certain that our law enforcement will update us on that matter as it becomes available.
Where do we go from here? So campus is back open. Do operations resume as normal, or will it be shut down?
Campus operations will resume as normal for now, unless we're given any other indication that we should change that. So we're good right now.
Were there any classes scheduled for the rest of the day?
We do have a variety of classes scheduled, but we know that the campus is clear, that they're safe, and our law enforcement will continue to monitor everything that goes on campus, as they always do.
Well, that's all the questions that I had. I really appreciate it, Jobin. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you. So that was our update here. About 30 minutes past the hour here at Central Georgia Technical College. We just heard from Jobin Rivera, the communications, the public relations official here for the campus, giving us that update, confirming from law enforcement that this was a hoax. This was not a real active shooter. Thankfully, the response here was as such, though. We saw many police cars, many state patrol vehicles respond. Obviously, this is just another example of one of those hoaxes that we have seen again earlier throughout the country. We were mentioning earlier in this stream, there have been lots of these calls. Notably, Villanova University was one of them. University of Arkansas was another one of those campuses where we heard about the potential for an active shooter. And you know, as scary as the situation was here, this is actually some good news. We were happy to report that there was no active shooter here. Again, law enforcement officials here will speak to us in just a moment and give us an update on exactly what may have transpired here and what kind of response there was to the area. But now we are seeing this scene mostly cleared out, which is good news. And we are hearing too that this situation today is pretty much over. Classes will continue on. Folks here are safe, which is good. I'm sure there are some folks who are a little bit shaken here, but the good news is that everybody is okay, and we can report that at this time. Central Georgia Technical College about an hour ago gave us that update that they were getting calls to an active shooter here on campus. And about an hour later here, around 2:25 is when we first heard those words that this was a hoax. This was a hoax. It was not a real situation, thank goodness. And video journalist Colin Hammock here, we're going to see, look, you can actually see now what seems to be civilian vehicles just driving back into campus. That is a good sign. That deputy, they're giving them the thumbs up that they're okay to enter. In fact, I think that Toyota Camry that just went in there, that was a lady I spoke with earlier who did not want to be on camera, but she did say that she had a student in there at that time. And let's see if we can go ahead and get an update here from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. We got Sergeant Williams here with Bibb County Sheriff's Office. Thank you, Sergeant Williams, for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Will you, first of all, just can you kind of debrief us here on what the situation is at the moment?
Well, as far as the debriefing, we did get a call, as you already know, at 1:04 p.m. about there was an active shooting situation here at Central Georgia Technical College. Okay, now our deputies responded also with the brave men and women of the Georgia State Patrol Motor Carrier Compliance, DNR, also the Board of Education Police, to get to the scene quickly and make sure everything was 10-4. All buildings have been cleared. There was not an active shooter. There was not any injuries reported. Everybody is safe. Now, during the clearing, we also got a call out at Rutland High School of the same situation. This was a person who called in at 1:04 first, stating that there was acts of violence and threats, and there would be gunfire due to an undisclosed amount of cash that was requested. Okay, so that's why deputies responded real quick. Who that person was and where this call is coming from, we are investigating. But the same person who called this in while we were here called in an additional situation over at Rutland High School. Central Georgia Technical College is clear. Rutland High School is clear. There was no active shooter. There were no injuries reported. So we cleared the area at this time as well as Rutland High School, and we are investigating the source of this threat.
The first call came in at 1:04, you said?
Yes, sir.
So about how many units responded here? Was this like an all-call type of situation? Describe the response here.
The response is an emergency. We don't have the exact number of how many responded, but we're definitely grateful for everyone who responded for this type of situation. We're very thankful that it wasn't what it was perceived to be, but when we hear about it, we're all law enforcement here, and we're all here to back each other up, and we're thankful for every single brave man and women who came to assist us.
As far as next steps here, I mean, do we think that this was a person on campus, possibly different campus? Hearing now that there was another called-in threat to another school, it's seeming like this may be unrelated to the campus itself?
Mm-hmm. Well, we're not sure exactly who it would be at this time. As this, we've already checked Rutland and Central Georgia Technical College. There was no belief that the person was on campus, but as far as the source, who's behind the source, we are currently investigating that, and we're in our early stage of that investigation. Once we discover more information, we'll definitely let you all know.
Now, this might sound like a silly question, but I just want you to kind of walk me through this. When you have so many deputies respond to a scene like this, it takes away resources from other things that are happening.
Yes, sir.
In a fake situation, I should say. In this situation, how unfortunate is it that somebody decided to do this today?
It's very unfortunate, but even though we responded in a great number, there are still units out available protecting our streets at the same time. So every resource wasn't exhausted. There were still people out patrolling our city.
Do you know about how long the search or going through the buildings took? Do you know about how long that took?
Well, the call came in, as I stated, at 1:04 p.m. this afternoon, and we wrapped everything up just shortly before 2:12.
2:12. Okay.
PM.
So just around an hour or so of an
It's a
active.
big campus, definitely a lot of buildings, and we want to make sure we checked every building and make sure everybody was safe.
Well, that's all the questions that I had. I really appreciate it. Thank
Not a
you,
problem.
Sergeant Williams.
We appreciate
Thank
your
you.
patience.
Thank you. Thank
All right,
you.
man.
Well, that was the update there from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. We are wrapping up here at the scene. Once again, I'll go ahead and recap all the details if you're just joining us here on the tail end of our stream here. We arrived here just after 1:15, about 9 minutes now, or 11 minutes rather, after that first report they got a phone call at 1:04 p.m. this afternoon to Central Georgia Technical College for a potential active shooter. They arrived along with Georgia State Patrol. They went into the buildings, they cleared them, found out that it was a hoax. But now new details that we're learning from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office here, again from Sergeant Williams, is that another threat was called in to Rutland High School. That was also a hoax, and it was from the same phone caller as well. So obviously an investigation here is now going to unfold into who made these phone calls, and of course taking away resources from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. But we heard at right around 2:12 p.m. is when this scene wrapped up. They gave the all clear, and we are good to go from here. Of course, we'll continue to follow this as we learn new updates. Obviously, we want to thank our viewers for tuning in. We will continue to update you as we learn more. Again, we are here at Central Georgia Technical College in Macon, the Macon campus. All clear has been given. They have confirmed that this was a hoax and nobody is injured. Thank you for joining us. Once again, I'm Hunter King reporting from Central Georgia Technical College in Macon.